Yeah, baby. Yeah. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Hey, listen, we are coming to you live from the CCA corporate headquarters, Faith to Influence, Justin Janowski's office. That's my guy right there overlooking my shoulder. So I'm going to be on my best behavior. He's taking some of the speakers and some of the team to the airport. I'll be flying out this afternoon. But while he's gone, I have taken control of headquarters. And so I'm coming to you here on the Childlike Faith podcast here in the Fun Life community. And I want to share with you guys, again, we're coming to you here from CCA Live. And after this incredible week surrounded by Christian entrepreneurs, coaches, speakers, trainers, leaders from all around the country, I'm telling you guys, over these last few days, it has been incredible. I've heard world-class speakers, world-class singing. I've watched incredible breakthroughs happen and take place. And I've had conversations that I believe will impact my life for years and years to come. But when I sat down to reflect on everything, I've got my notes right over there. I'm packed. I'm ready to go. But I'm sitting here taking down notes, listening. I've recorded on some of these. Y'all saw some of the stories I put up on social media. One thing kept surfacing. One thing kept coming to the top. Different speakers, different stories, different businesses altogether. Same message. God is still, to this very day, yes, you, my friend, God is still raising some giant killers. And maybe, just maybe, the giant standing in front of you is actually introducing you to the calling that is inside of you. I'll say that again. The giant standing in front of you is actually introducing you to the calling that has been placed in your life. I'm telling you, again, it's not a story in the Bible. It's an account. It actually took place. And so thank you for joining me here live on the Childlike Faith podcast. Again, we're coming to you live from CCA headquarters here at Faith to Influence, Justin Janowski's office here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. As he says, one of the most underrated cities in America. That's what he says. I don't know. It's pretty cool. Pretty amazing. The people we were able to hear from this weekend, I'm telling you, this is what it reminded me of. This is my takeaway. So for the next few minutes, if you'll just bear with me, hang tight. I want to share with you my quick takeaway, and hopefully it will bless you. Hopefully it will encourage you, motivate you, inspire you to be more, do more, and have more. Because one of the greatest stories ever told, one of the greatest accounts ever recorded in the Bible is the giant killer, David versus Goliath. And most of us read it backwards. We assume David was the underdog. But did you realize that he wasn't? I mean, Malcolm Gladwell points this out beautifully. David wasn't bringing a stick to a sword fight. Goliath brought a sword, and David brought a missile launcher. A trained shepherd with a sling wasn't weak. He was lethal. A skilled slinger could launch a stone over 100 miles per hour with the stopping power comparable to that of a 45 caliber handgun, guys. Think about that for a second. Goliath slowed, right? He showed up expecting a close combat, hand to hand. And David refused to fight on Goliath's terms. What is your takeaway? Johnny Juan, why do you share that story with me? I'm telling you, how often you and I, we compare ourselves to someone else's strengths, right? Even the children of Israel said it. We were as grasshoppers in their eyes. Were you? They didn't even see you. So instead of recognizing the unique gifts God has already placed in our hands, you know, you weren't called to build their business. You weren't called to help them out. You were called to steward yours. What business are you stewarding? What has God placed in your hands? You got to do what you can do where you're at with what you got, baby. And here's the thing that nobody saw coming, right? Nobody saw David coming. I mean, here's the part that really hit me this week. You ready? Samuel comes to to Jesse's house, and David isn't even invited. Imagine that. Think about that for a second. His own father didn't think he belonged in the lineup. And then Saul tells him, you can't do this. His brothers criticized him. The giant sat there and made fun of him. He mocked him. Yet none of those voices changed God's opinion about David. And here's the thing, Christian entrepreneur, you listening? I want you to listen, because here's the important part right here. Sometimes the loudest voices around you know the least about what God is preparing inside of you. I want to slow this down because I really want you to understand this. I really want you to take away something powerful from this episode, because this episode just might be that episode that springs you forward, that really launches you, that catapults you into where God is trying to get you, right? You ready? The lion, the bear, the giant, right? David's confidence didn't appear overnight. So when Saul questioned him, David didn't talk about talent. He talked about testimony. The Lord who delivered me from the lion and the bear, what's he going to do, right? He will deliver me from this giant. He didn't even call him by name. Notice the pattern. Past provision, right? Present courage. Future confidence. That's faith. Past provision, present courage, future confidence, guys. That is faith. So faith isn't pretending the giant isn't real. Faith is remembering that God has already been faithful. God's already done it. God's already handled this for you. So what are you waiting for? What are you expecting God to do? What giant are you fighting right now that you need a little bit of courage? Because here's the thing. One thing that encouraged me all week long is that every speaker had their own giant. Some battled fear, okay? Some battled rejection. Some battled bankruptcy. Some battled addiction, self-doubt. But every testimony shared one common thread. God used yesterday's struggle to prepare for today's platform. God used yesterday's struggle. You can't have a testimony without the test. Stop arguing about the test. That's why it's there. That's why it's been given to you. All right. So really fast, because I don't want to take too much time, but here's where we're going to do a sponsor break, right? We'll be right back after this message. Today's episode is brought to you by Fun Life Coaching, right? Helping Christian entrepreneurs, right? Childlike Faith Podcast, helping Christian entrepreneurs discover their calling, develop their voice, and build a person God can trust to lead what he's called them to build. And so, want one of our favorite free resources? Just text the word Fun Life. Text the word Fun Life, FUNFLIFE, one word, to the number 33777, and I'm going to send you a networking made simple and fun guide that you can take to your next event and walk away with money, walk away with resources, walk away with a relationship that's going to be able to come together and affiliate or come together to help you get a new client. Again, text the word Fun Life, one word, to 33777. I'll get that sent out to you. Because again, your next breakthrough might begin with just one conversation. Seriously, guys, you're one conversation away from a completely different life. All right, now back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, we're gonna finish this up and get out of here. Every test, like I said earlier, becomes a testimony. And this may have been the biggest takeaway from Milwaukee. I'm still here this morning or this afternoon. I'm going to be flying out here a couple hours. But here's the thing. Every challenge that you're facing today has the potential to become tomorrow's credibility. Every disappointment, every setback, every closed door, every difficult season, God wastes absolutely nothing. Every test becomes a testimony, and every testimony becomes evidence that God has already been faithful. Because if I can say one word to describe God, is he's been faithful. He's always right there. Perfect. He's right on time. Never early, never late, always right on time. And that, my friends, is faithful. So that's why a testimony creates hope. Because if God did it before, yeah, you guessed it, he can do it again. So here's the thing. One thing that Justin challenged us with this week was to stop playing small, stop hiding, to grow our influence, not our ego, but for the kingdom, because influence is stewardship. God doesn't increase influence so people think more highly of us. No, he increases influence so more people encounter hope through us. You watching live right now or on the recording later on. And so that challenged me, right? Maybe your business isn't simply your business. Maybe it's your ministry wearing work boots. Have you ever thought of that? I shared that with somebody in the hallway conversation. I'm like, hey, have you ever thought that your business is your ministry has been cleverly disguised as a business opportunity? And so I got to ask you, what giant have you been staring at? What giant has been calling you out? Hey, send me a man. No, stop it. Is it a new business? Is it speaking from stage? Maybe an MC gig? coaching, hiring somebody new, growing, stepping outside of that comfort zone, maybe the giant isn't your enemy at all. Maybe it's your invitation. Maybe it's the thing calling you, asking you to step outside of your comfort zone, because every giant defeated, are you ready? Introduces you to the next level of your calling. That's what it does. That's what's happening. That's why this is so key and so important. And I want you to be able to take this and hold on to it, because if today's episode has resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, maybe you're standing in front of your own giant. Did you know? Did you know that you were made for more? You were created for more? God said that, right? I know the plans I have for you. Justin has it right here on the wall. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future, guys. And if you have hope in the future, that gives you power in the present. I love what John Maxwell said. He said, you just simply can't kill time without injuring eternity. Stop waiting for the perfect opportunity. Stop waiting for the perfect time. The time is now. And if not now, then when? And if not you, then who? Listen, God's going to use somebody to bless others. Why not you? Why not you? I know God is calling you to something higher. I know God is calling you to something, and it's going to look a little scary. It's going to look a little challenging, but guess what? He is faithful. You got to be sure. You got to be sure of your next step. Even if you're unsure, just know, right? Corrie ten Boom said, never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God. God, and I would absolutely love to help you discern that. Pray with you. Again, talk about this. Have a conversation. Have a complimentary coaching strategy session to help you do this. So I'm opening up my calendar completely free, 50 free, to come and have all you Christian entrepreneurs want to have a strategy session. You don't have to buy anything from me. I just want to help you gain that clarity. Now, if we find a way for us to work together, great, but that's not why I'm doing this. I'm interested in transformation, not just giving you information. I've helped many people. I've helped other clients. I want to help you be more, do more, and have more. I want to help you overcome fear, right? Because God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of what? Of power and of love and of a sound mind, right? The Bible says that God is love, and perfect love casts out all fear. God, are you starting to pick up what I'm putting down, baby? Come on, hang out with us for a little bit. So together, we're going to explore your calling, your unique gifts, the giant standing right in front of you, the testimony that God has already been writing in your story, and the next faithful step toward building the life and business that He's called you to steward. No pressure, no obligation, just a simple conversation centered on clarity, courage, and calling. So DM me the word giant right here. DM me the word giant or text the word fun life to 33777. I'll still be able to get your email. I'll be able to get your phone number, and I'll send you this information out. I'll send you out my calendar to find out exactly when you're able to come and get together. I'll be back in Tyler late this evening, but I'm opening up my schedule so that we can make this work for you guys. So here's the thing, cool kids, right? This is the cool kids community, right? So David didn't defeat Goliath because he became someone else. He didn't. He defeated Goliath because he trusted what God had already been developing in him, right? The lion wasn't random. It wasn't. The bear wasn't, just accidental, right? The giant wasn't. It didn't just happen. It wasn't just happenstance. It wasn't coincidence. And neither is your story. That thing that you think disqualifies you just might become the very thing that God uses to distinguish you. That thing that you think is your disadvantage in the marketplace is actually your competitive advantage when put together in the proper perspective, guys. I can't tell you how many years I sat on the sideline struggling and battling this one thing. And when I found my voice, I'm telling you, the liberty, the freedom that came with it. And I want to help you do the exact same thing, guys. And so, again, it may become the very thing that God uses to distinguish you, because every test becomes your testimony. And every testimony becomes the evidence, and that evidence becomes the courage to believe, guys. And if God did it before, right, He's no respecter of person, right? He can do it for you too. But if you've done it before, He can do it again. And that, cool kids, is something to smile about on this Saturday. So remember, don't just build a business, right? Build a person that God can trust to lead it. So until next time, guys, keep smiling, keep serving, keep growing, and keep living that fun life. And that, cool kids, is something to smile about. You know what I'd like to end this episode with is just simply one question in the comment section. What is your giant? What is your giant? And what if it's actually the doorway to the life that God has been preparing for you? Remember, cool kids, don't just build a business, build a person that God can trust to lead it. This has been your playground guide, Johnny Juan Ortiz, here in the Fun Life community, here on the Childlike Faith podcast for Christian entrepreneurs who want to grow and scale their business to achieve the financial freedom they're looking for without sacrificing their time, their talent, their faith, or their joy. And we're here live at the CCA Studios, Faith to Influence, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, home corporate headquarters, guys. So we're going to be flying out back to the booming metropolis of Tyler, Texas. See you on the next episode. Adios, amigos.